Hello everybody, Aiden here, and welcome into another video here on the Around the Slice Entertainment YouTube channel. I'm so excited for this video installment today because earlier this morning / afternoon, I was finally able to see the very much anticipated, for me personally at least, Super Mario Galaxy movie in theaters. I would have seen it on opening day, as I do with most blockbuster / major movies like this, on Wednesday, April 1st. But I was just coming home from vacation in Florida, so back in New York. So I saw it a few days later, but I still thought it was awesome nonetheless. So let's dive into it. I'm going to give you my positives. I'm going to give you my negatives. I'm going to give you a concrete final score, as I always like to do, to have on record for myself and with you guys, as per usual, of course, with entries like this. And then just for fun, I'm going to throw out some extra future projects that I think Nintendo could be giving us going forward in terms of movies and stuff like that. First, before I get into my positives, I just want to address the quote-unquote public perception around this movie. I saw this movie earlier today, like I said at the top of the video, and the hate, at least in my opinion personally, is way overblown. People are complaining, oh, it wasn't an emotionally resonating story. Oh, the story wasn't dramatic enough. Oh, this, oh, that. There wasn't enough character development. It was too, cookie cutter story. Seriously, guys, it's, at the end of the day, this is a kid's movie. It's an animated Nintendo movie about a kids franchise / video game / company. This is what they're meant to do. So, no wonder it didn't have all that. If you were going into it expecting all that, then probably shouldn't even show up, if I'm being honest. That's just how I feel. Just go in with, I don't even want to say tempered expectations, but just know what you're going into. Anyway, positives, let's get right into it. Tonally, this movie is genuinely funny. I'm 22 years old, and I genuinely laughed. Even though this is a quote-unquote kids movie, I genuinely laughed out loud at a lot of jokes here. Everything that had to do with Yoshi, Toad individually, or any of Yoshi and Toad's interactions, I thought the writers did a very good job of evoking comedy out of us as an audience, at least for me personally. I generally laughed at a lot of scenes that Yoshi was in. I thought it was very heartfelt. I thought it was very, very comedic. So yeah. I want to talk about the Nintendo callbacks and Nintendo property aspect of this entire movie. This movie is absolutely packed to the brim with a ton of Easter eggs and characters. You could literally stop it, and I'm sure many terrific channels and many videos have done it already. You can literally stop it frame by frame, minute by minute, even hell, second by second, to find Mario Universe callbacks. I should have said this at the top, but spoiler alert right now. I'm going to talk about spoilers when it comes to the characters here with the cameos, because as I always say, I personally find it hard to talk about a movie without talking about spoilers. So the characters that I can think of off the top of my head, we got cameos from Mr. Game & Watch, Birdo was thrown in there. The T-Rex from Odyssey. We saw the Sand Kingdom come to life from our Super Mario Odyssey. We saw the ruins in the Sand Kingdom come to life from Super Mario Odyssey. And I'm sure I'm missing a few. The one notable omission that I was kind of hoping for, because it has to do in space, maybe I was kind of optimistic that it would be riding on a star, is Kirby, but we didn't get that. But that's just a slight omission in the grand scheme of things. It's all these callbacks, Easter eggs, and characters specifically as a whole. Obviously, other than the main cast of Toad, Yoshi, Rosalina, Mario, Luigi, with all the trailers and such. Just to go over it one more time, just off the top of my head, we got Mr. Game & Watch, we got Birdo, we got the T-Rex from Odyssey, we got all those Lumas, obviously, that were in the very beginning. So, it's a ton of fun. I'm sure I'm missing quite a few. I'm sure there's videos that have broken it down frame by frame and terrific channels that have done that, but I'll be consuming as much of that content as possible on my end. But, yeah. And then I want to talk about the final act. So I have my criticisms that I'll touch on in a minute with the first couple acts of the movie. If you break it down, to 3 acts like a typical movie is structured, animated or not, kids or not. The final act of this movie truly feels epic in scale and completely cinematic, and I wanted it to evoke those cinematic emotions for me personally going in, and it did, because it takes place in space. It's obviously on an animated, a grand scale, and it feels very cinematic with playing out the many Galaxy game callbacks. So, quick synopsis here: I don't really have any nostalgia, excuse me, for either of the Mario Galaxy games. Like, I'm 22 years old and I just beat Mario Galaxy in full within the last year, so obviously no child nostalgia for that, but it's an outstanding game nonetheless. And the final act is just very cinematic. The battles between all the certain characters, the good side, the bad side, Mario, Luigi, Bowser Jr., what have you, all very cinematic, all feels grand at scale as it should. And then, speaking of callbacks and Easter egg, the soundtrack here, outstanding. Obviously, played Mario as a kid. I still do to this day. Seeing these songs come to life in this movie, seeing the soundtrack, seeing these theme songs come to life, awesome. And then all the sound effects, whether it was the turtle shell, whether it was the stomping of the T-Rex from Odyssey, whether it was the fire power up for Mario and or Luigi in the ruins in the Sand Kingdom with the T-Rex, it was all brought me back to my childhood in terms of all the amazing sound effects from those games that I have core memories of. So, yeah, those are my positives that I wanted to reiterate. My negatives here, again, these aren't really negatives because you have to understand the context of what this movie is going for. This is more so of kind of nitpick / held back things, if you will. So the final act I really loved, and it was very cinematic in terms of grand scale battles, which it should be. But the first couple acts, to me, scattered, disjointed, all over the place, all at once. There was a bit too much going on for me personally, for my liking. There was a lot of storylines, there was a lot of plots, and they didn't really relate to each other. I feel like they had a pacing problem in the first couple acts. Now, thankfully, the third act remedied that, but there was a bunch going on. You had the story of Rosalina, and then we barely saw Rosalina in the first couple acts, like all, and then we had Mario and Luigi. So everything up into the point where Peach and Mario and Luigi and Toad and whoever the hell else and Yoshi kind of meet up kind of felt not boring, but it had a pacing issue for sure. I don't want to say major because I get that was redeemed a lot in the third act, but yeah. Next, this was a big emphasis of the marketing ploy for this movie, marketing tools as a whole, if you would. Yoshi, I don't want to say I was disappointed by the character Yoshi, but personally, I do wish, I'm just going to say point blank here, I do wish Yoshi had more to do in this movie. What I mean by that is he was kind of used as a comedic relief. And again, very funny. His interactions with Toad, top-notch, hilarious, comedic. I wish he had more to do in terms of a plot device to get somewhere. But maybe I should reiterate that. I wish he had more to do in terms of the actual plot and story. It wasn't just used as a comedic relief side character. I was kind of disappointed in terms of the kind of character Yoshi, just because I thought he was going to be a much bigger part of this movie from all the marketing. I mean, that was literally the whole marketing push. Oh, Yoshi's making his debut. Oh, Yoshi's making his debut after the phenomenal post-credit scene of the last movie with his egg cracked and then he hatches. It was all very funny, but again, I wish he had more to do, more than just being a comedic relief side character. But overall, those are my positives. Those are my negatives. What I liked, a couple nitpicks, minor nitpicks / things that held it back for me from being really high. This might be Mario nostalgia talking. This might be my personal enjoyment, but hell, who cares? I'm going for it. Full send. 8.5 out of 10 for the Mario Galaxy movie for me. Now, if we're comparing from a few years ago, the Super Mario Bros. Movie of a few years ago that came out in April 2023, that movie to me is like a 9.25 out of 10. Off ballpark, if that's what I had. This one's an 8.5 out of 10. I mean, that might be a bit aggressive for all you guys out there, but hell, I don't care. Like, I'm doing it. Full send on that score, 8.5 out of 10. Let me know in the comments below what your final score was. I could talk about the Easter eggs for days. I could talk about the emotion it evoked. I could talk about how it brought me back to my childhood for days, but we have to end this video at some point. So 8.5 out of 10 for me for the Super Mario Galaxy movie. Around the Slice Entertainment score of 8.5 out of 10. I want to do some quick hit future Nintendo movie possibilities with all the franchises and properties they own. This isn't in order of desire / significance. That's just what I thought off the top of my head after coming out of the movie. Luigi's Mansion, and this actually could have some credence to it going forward because Charlie Day, the voice of Luigi in both movies, most recently this one, said a Luigi's Mansion movie would be dope. A Luigi's Mansion movie would be awesome. Earlier this week, a few days ago, what have you, he said that, whatever. I also agree. Get King Boo into the mix. Get the Dry Bones into the mix. Hell, get everybody into the mix from that Next Level Games, Luigi's Mansion style franchise. They could release it in a couple years and then release Luigi's Mansion 4 that year as well. A more spooky Halloween release. I think they could do a lot there. Next, this derives from the fact that we saw the Sand Kingdom, we saw the T-Rex from the game, Super Mario Odyssey animated movie. I think that would be awesome. I would be a little concerned about the runtime, the pacing, how you cram all, 9 or 10 kingdoms or whatever the freak it is, at this point of Odyssey. But conceptually, on the surface level, I really like that idea. Maybe I'll be a bit nervous about the pacing, just how they cram all that into one movie, because these movies are an hour and a half, hour 40 minutes, give or take at most. So yeah. Next, these aren't in order of desire of significance, but Pokemon. Pokemon has so much untapped potential. Now you can get into the technical terms. Oh, it's not technically Nintendo. It's only part Nintendo. Game Freak, Pokemon Company, and Nintendo collaborate, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. Jesus, make it happen, guys. Whoever's involved, make it happen. I understand that we got all those animated Claymation 2D style Pokemon movies from the early to mid to late 2000s, excuse me. But just imagine they could do a series of Pokemon movies starting with the Kanto region, and imagine Ash, Pikachu, and company, the original trio of Ash, Brock, and Misty, go through Kanto. So it's a small region compared to everything else. I'm actually playing through Fire, Red, Leaf, Green right now. This is why I have the idea at the top of my mind. They go from Pallet Town to Cerulean City, Saffron, Lavender, the creepish style of that, blah, blah, blah. All through Kanto, all the way up to Elite Four, all the way up to Pokemon League. There's so much untapped potential. Pokemon's my bread and butter. I don't want to say I get emotional about Pokemon, but I grew up with it. I still play it today. I still adore it. I think there's a lot of untapped potential here. Next, I threw this on mainly because last summer, it was a big hit. Donkey Kong Bonanza, the first 3D platformer in quite some time for Donkey Kong. A Donkey Kong movie, I think a little bromance, if you would, adventure of Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong platforming through the 3D worlds in an animated-ish style of Donkey Kong Bonanza, Tropical Freeze World, whatever you want, whatever the hell they can do. That would be outstanding. I know everyone's going to bring up Legend of Zelda. I know we're getting live action. I'm not a Zelda guy. I've tried Breath of the Wild too many times to count, where I can't get into it for some reason. I've tried other entries, Majora's Mask, Wind Waker. I can't. Pokemon in Mario is my bread and butter. So that's it. Coming out of this movie, I have to ask myself 2 questions. 1, did the Super Mario Galaxy movie bring me back to childhood memories? Yes, absolutely. 2, the Super Mario Galaxy movie, was the Super Mario Galaxy fulfilling in terms of enjoyment still at 22 years old for a quote-unquote animated kids movie and kids franchise? Even more, absolutely yes. So that's why I'm giving it an 8.5 out of 10. Anyways, there's today's review. Please let me know in the comments below. What did you like about this movie? What did you not like about this movie? What's your final concrete score out of 10 for the Super Mario Galaxy movie? Down in the comments below. You can follow me on Twitter at @AWineGartner13 for any additional movie/TV show discussions, thoughts, and opinions. Speaking of additional show discussions, there is so much coming out right now. Just a mere few days from this video posting, recording/video posting, we got The Boys Season 5 coming up. We got Euphoria Season 3 in a couple weeks. We got the Punisher special at the beginning of May. We got Daredevil Born Again Season 2 airing right now. Hell, we got X-Men 87 in the summer, and then we got the summer blockbuster movies, Supergirl, Toy Story 5, Spider-Man Brand New Day. It's all going to be great. Don't miss this channel for a single second. Like and subscribe so you can get all that coverage and more. And we still got the pit going on. 2 more episodes every Thursday night. HBO and HBO Max. Like and subscribe for all of that. Thank you for the support as always. Please share this video with anyone and everyone you know. It would be greatly appreciated. See you in the next one. Goodbye.